Yo, what's up? It's Llama here with the No Drama Llama podcast. This is episode 7, Darwin's Idea. Okay, so today we're going to discuss the topic. So we first talked about Trump a little bit. We talked about how Mitt Romney called Trump out. And he called him out because he didn't believe in the same philosophy that Trump believes in, especially, I guess, towards women. That was one of the debates, and he was one of the only Republicans to vote against Trump. So that was pretty significant towards it. But Trump's son came back and said, showed a picture of, and I'll link this below, of Mitt Romney in mom jeans, and it had a caption something like, "Because you're a P word." I guess y'all know what that is, but yeah. So that was basically all we talked about Trump. I mean, you know, the daily Trump thing going on. But next we watched the movie. I'll link this one below too. I can see where it's on. It's Darwin's Dangerous Idea. It should be PBS, so probably be able to find a YouTube link for that, and I'll link that below. But so first off, we talked about they showed Darwin buying ancient skulls from some Spanish people up in the, I don't know where it was, but it was somewhere, and they were it was an old one, and he was just showing that he was just trying to show some of the ancient themes, ancient animals. So Darwin's theory of evolution is probably the most impressive and probably most highly controversial theory ever. Very impressive that he figured all that out. There's a lot that he put into that. And Darwin was a respectable man, but he also had this theory that he wanted to keep on the low, because he knew if he would have told everybody about it whenever he was thinking about it, everybody would have been going crazy. And he was scared to present this to people in London because, that's a very controversial subject. So he was very scared to, because he really didn't want to get lynched. I don't blame him. You don't want to really get lynched. He used birds on the finches on the Galapagos Island to prove his point. It was his big bird that he used, and how the Galapagos Islands has the same climate but has different birds everywhere. So that's kind of what he did. He said animals' evolution's like trees and shoots. It's constantly evolving. It just keeps getting better and better, and that's why there's so much diversity, because it just keeps getting better and better, and the stronger traits usually go through to the next generation. Darwin's theory is the foundation for biology, and that's a good thing. That's what biology's kind of stemmed off of, is life. So that's kind of how it worked. All animals are on the tree of life. So yeah, same kind of thing like I was talking about. Like, it's all about life. It's all about the life of the animals. It's not about anything. It's about the life of how they evolve. So that's very important. Next one. All living things on Earth are related. That's a very hard concept for people in the past to think, because they thought humans were just superior automatically. So, that was kind of crazy, but yeah, I mean, I guess I can see why they would say that, because we're the most complex, but everybody comes from everybody. So yeah, that's kind of how it works. All organisms descended from a single organism, so yeah, everybody's claimed from one little thing. Darwin, he's pretty impressive, didn't know anything about DNA, so that's how nowadays we can easily figure out how animals are related to each other, but back then they did not have any DNA, and DNA is a big thing now. Very important, being able to find who's who and all that type of stuff. So we talked about how war, nature, and famine keep animals in check. It's like God's, or not God's way, but it's nature's way of keeping everybody in check. So yeah, that's how that kind of works. Natural selection makes it easy for animals to get better and keep on going. That's how they get better, generation by generation. That's very important for animals' growth. And HIV is used to see, like a very quick example of how we can tell that it exists. That all this, all these natural selections exist, because the better HIV strands, the better drug-resistant ones are going to be the ones that survive, and they're going to be the ones that stay, and so that's how that works. And like I said, like the drug-resistant ones. So one cure for HIV that's been talked about is just stopping taking the drugs, because then the drug-resistant ones become weak and they don't have any way to survive. And so that's kind of doctors' theory, is kind of get them off of it and getting them back on it and getting them off of it, and so on and so forth. That's kind of the thought process there. Darwin's wife was a Christian, highly Christian, so she was very awestruck by this theory, because that's new for her too. And so she didn't want to publish the book, because she's like, that goes completely against everything I had never known, So it's kind of crazy, Like, if you think about it, it's just, I'm surprised she ever even did it, It's, thank goodness that she did it, because then we wouldn't have all this. But she supported him a little bit enough, So then Darwin tried to help her figure that out, like helped her try to relate back to it. And how he used is the eyeball. The human eyeball is not perfect, but it has evolved. Like, God wouldn't make something that's not perfect, but it's evolved to make it work for us, And so that's what he used as argument. So Darwin married his cousin or something like that. Kind of weird, but he married like his cousin, so it was incest, and so Darwin's daughter inherited the same stomach as he had, so his daughter died from that. Kind of crazy. And the mom thought that it was because God didn't want her, or wanted her back in heaven, but Darwin was like, no, this is because I went incest route. And so yeah, that's definitely why that's happening. We're trying to find Darwin's God. We don't really know exactly who he is. He would try to find a God that, I don't know, it would be hard pressed to find who we know as Darwin's God. It's kind of crazy, but yeah. The Origin of Species by Darwin was the book he wrote, and that was one of the most important books, and it published everywhere and went crazy. And that's a good one, like that tries to describe everything without trying to sound too crazy. Because if you want to sound too crazy, it would have been too much for people to understand. So they get good. Lastly, we got DNA. There's double helix. Chimps and everything else have that. Chimps and humans. So we know we're very similar. We have very similar DNA from that. And so that's how we kind of prove is the DNA. Lastly, Darwin's great idea shows that we are connected to everything on this planet. And Darwin's friends made his death a show by having his body in the church, because obviously the church would condemn against Darwin's practices. And lastly, I just want to talk about my opinions on the movie, why we watched it and everything, why I think we watched it. I think it kind of just tries to show like that everybody's just the same. Like every single animal, everybody should be the same. So we should give everybody the same respect. Woman, man, chimp, everything, And so that's what I think was kind of the objective of us watching this movie. And that's about it. Anyways, it's been Land the Llama here with the No Drama Llama podcast. This was episode 7, Darwin's Idea. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned to future videos. Until next time, see ya.